Sabrina here from the Gombe family, and today we are going to do part 2 of our essentials for living or traveling in Africa. So let's get started. So I have 10 items here that I think are essentials for traveling in Africa, and specifically if you're trying to settle here for short-term or long-term. So let's get into it. The first one I have here is a collapsible bucket. So you might think, what do I need to put that in my backpack or suitcase for? But it is very important. It is a little bit difficult to collapse, but when it is collapsed, it is very small compared to obviously a regular bucket or basin. So give me one moment here and I will collapse it. See, this is the full bucket. So you can easily put that in your backpack or your luggage, and it is so helpful just for a million different reasons. We usually do bucket baths because there's not hot water here, so we heat up water and then we put it in here. The silicone does just fine with the heated water, so that is perfect for us. We also use it when we are washing dishes, when we are washing laundry, so this is just something that gets tons of use. We use this multiple times on a daily basis, so it is something that we definitely couldn't live without, especially with the fact that we travel and move so often that we need to have something like this the day that we get somewhere, and it's just convenient to have that in our bag. Okay, so let's go to the next one, which is very important, and that is lighting sources. So it is so important to have multiple different lighting sources. So I'm going to show you a variety of them. So here is one, and this is kind of like a night light. So we might use this if there's no electricity. We will put this in the bathroom so that there is some sort of light in the bathroom for people to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Here is just a little light. You could get these for like multiple, see, they don't even work that well, but you could get multiple of these on Amazon for a very cheap price, but it's just super small, so it's good to have on hand if the lights go out or it gets dark on your way home or whatever the case may be. That is what I use this one for mostly. This one is very, very bright, and I usually always have this one in my fanny pack, and I always know where it is in my fanny pack because it has a like a little hook on the back, so I could put it in a certain spot in my fanny pack, always know where it is. Then also there is solar lights. So we have these that you can blow up right here. You can blow it up and then you can turn it on here from the back. So it has that, a little brighter, and then strobe. And here is the solar panel on the back. So usually what we do is we just put the solar panel side on, like facing the window of wherever we're staying, and the sun will charge it through the window, and then we will have it for at night if the electricity goes out. When we were staying in the village, the electricity went out very, very often, and I'm not talking about just for like 10 minutes or something. I'm talking about for 8 hours, sometimes an entire day. So that's why it was so important to have lights like this and multiple different varieties of lights, because you never know when the electricity is going to come back on. So those are the 4 different options that I have here. I also have a light on, is there a light on here? No, there's not a light on this one, but I have some power banks that do have a light on them, and we can also use that if we are in a situation where we need light desperately. So that is lights. So the next thing that I want to talk about is an extension cord. So many people say that if you bring an extension cord, especially in a hostel or something like that, you will be everybody's best friend. And that is so true. But it's also important for you because often in places in Africa, you are going to get a place. Again, remember I said in the first video, this is not essentials for people who are going to stay in a fancy hotel with all the amenities. These are essentials for people who are going to live like the locals. $25 a month apartment, you're going to get a cement floor with cement walls, and that's about it, you know? If you have one outlet in your apartment, you are going to be lucky, and that's it. One outlet in the entire like studio apartment. So it is important to have a extension cord so that you can make sure that you can reach what you need to reach in regards to your electronics. So this one is my favorite. This is the third one that I've went through. Unfortunately, the other two were defective, but this one has been going strong and I love it. So it is very compact, as you can see. It has 2 universal plugs and then it has 4 USBs. So that is wonderful for me. And then as you can see, it is not crazy long, but I think it is about 2 meters. So it definitely works for the purposes that I need it for, especially because I need it to be compact just as much as I need it to be useful. So that works out for me perfectly. So along these same lines, the next item is a universal adapter. So a universal adapter is very important when you are traveling the world because you never know what kind of plug you're going to need in the different areas that you're going. Granted, yes, you can look that up, but it is important to just be able to use all of the devices that you bring with one travel adapter. So here you could see you have all of them. You have the plug for America, you have this one. So this one is used here in Kenya, the 2-prong. Also, this one is used here in Kenya, the 3-prong. So that is why it is important to make sure you have a universal adapter. Depending on the different outlet, you can use both of those. So it is good to just have a universal one as opposed to trying to juggle, oh, here's the European plug and here's the this plug and then that plug. This is just so perfect. We have 2 of these and they work amazing. This one actually has the universal plug on the front and then it has 2 USBs on the side. The other one that we have that I'm looking at, it has a universal plug on the front and 4 USBs on the side. So that one is awesome as well. So this is definitely an essential that you need to bring with you when traveling Africa or really anywhere in the world. Okay, so another item I wanted to mention is a water bottle. So I have 2 varieties here. Yes, these are both mine. This one is to make sure that I drink enough water. So this is a 2-liter water bottle, which I love so much. And it has the little increments on it, like stay hydrated, like you're gonna reach your goals, blah, 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 all those different things. So I love this one. However, I also love this one because this is the water bottle that came with my Berkey to go. As you guys seen in a previous video, this is the water filter. This is the water bottle, which has a filter inside of it. So you have to like suck a little bit harder in order for the water to go through the filter, but it is so amazing just knowing you can put any type of water in here and it will be filtered before it gets to your mouth. So that is why I have 2 different water bottles. But make sure that you bring one that is cleanable. So don't bring those ones that are like collapsible and you can't get into. No, those ones are going to be thrown away very quick. Make sure you bring one that you can take the lid off and that you can get your hand in there, clean very thoroughly, because you don't know what kind of water you're putting in there. Thus, you don't know how fast things are going to start growing in there. So you want to make sure that your water bottles stay clean and not slimy. Okay, so the next item here is a sarong. So this is not necessarily an essential that you have to bring with you, but it is something that you should always have with you. So this is one that I bought in Kenya. It has some drafts on it and stuff, but I also got one in the Dominican Republic. My mom has given me one. We have so many sarongs because they are so useful. So we actually use sarongs to dry off with in the shower. When we're done taking a shower, we use sarongs as pajamas when it is really hot outside and we don't want to wear clothes. We just tie it around our neck and make it into what we call pajamas. We use it for so many things. We use it to dry the kitchen floor when people get it wet constantly. We just use them for so many things. I could go on and on and on. So a sarong is vital. Many people get those like the travel like towels or whatever that are like super compact compared to like a regular towel, but at the end of the day, like those just still take up space and they're like single purpose, you know, like you could use them for other purposes, but they're intended to be your towel for showering. This is intended to do whatever you need it to do, you know? Like many African women, they wear them around their waist, like over their dara dresses, because it's kind of like an apron. Like that's what my mom equated it to. Like you use it as an apron. So like if the baby spits up, you use the sarong that's around your waist. If somebody spills something, you use the sarong that's around your waist. If you're trying to lift a pot that's hot, you get the sarong from around your waist and you lift it with that. There's just so many uses for these. It is essential for you to bring it. You could use it as a blanket on the airplane, or even when you get to your destination, if you don't have a blanket with you, you could pile a couple of sarongs on you and call it good. So definitely an essential. Okay, so the next item is, in the previous video I talked about entertainment that you don't need internet for. So that was still talking about electronics. I talked about the iPod, I talked about the 1 terabyte that we use with the computer. Now I'm talking about entertainment that you don't need any electronics for. So that would be board games, puzzles, anything like that. And you might say, I don't have enough space in my backpack to put different board games and puzzles and all of this craziness, you know? But this is a puzzle. You see how small that is? That is a puzzle. And especially if you are traveling by yourself, it is definitely fun for you to do something like this, but wastes 3 hours of your time if you're at the airport, or if you're like in your Airbnb and it's nighttime, but you have like, you had a red-eye flight or something, so you're just like jet lagged, you know, and you can't go to sleep, stuff like that. So here is another puzzle that is even smaller. And then it also comes with tweezers to put it together. Here is Monopoly, a mini Monopoly game. So you can see here, it comes with all of the pieces as well as the game board. So I know many of these things you guys are like, I didn't even know that existed. But there are so many. This is what I keep our games in that don't require any electricity. Here is the new version of Uno, which is Dos. Here is Operation. My husband loves playing this game. Here is Checkers. Here is Scrabble. And it comes with all of the Scrabble pieces. So you can see, here is the Scrabble board. And then you open the little drawer down here, and it has all the Scrabble pieces there. Here is Connect 4. And then we also have the pieces for Jenga in here. And then we also have a Tamagotchi in here. So many, many, many different different games that I have in this little tiny pouch, you know. So we can play all of those different games, whether we're at the airport, whether we're at home and there's no electricity. We could play all of those games and have fun as a family. So that is definitely an essential that I would bring with you. Would I bring all of these if I was you? Definitely not, you know. It just depends on what games you like to play and what games that you can get in a smaller version. So think about that when you are packing your bag. So also, the last item that I wanted to mention is something that I don't have here with me because I can't find it, but I'll definitely put a picture on the screen so that you can see what I'm talking about. It is a shower head that goes on top of a water bottle. So it goes where like the lid would go on the water bottle, and it's silicone, so it just like hugs the water bottle right there. And then it has holes at the top, so if you pour the water bottle like this, it kind of comes out like a shower. Instead of just like pouring the entire water bottle on yourself, you're pouring it like a shower, right? So when we used this in the village area, when we would have water shortages. So sometimes the water would go out and it wouldn't come back for like 4 or 5 days. So we would have to go fetch water. So I would use a 1.5 liter water bottle, and I would put the shower head on the water bottle, so then I could make sure that everybody only used 1.5 liters of water to take a shower. That might seem extreme to you, but it was an extreme situation. We had to go fetch every ounce of water that we used, so it was a little bit difficult. So that was something that was very essential to us because it allowed us to use less water when we were showering, and that is one of the things that you use most water for: showering and doing dishes. Also laundry, those are things that require a lot of water. So you want to make sure that you conserve water as much as you can when doing those tasks. So that was a way that we saved water in that situation. So those are 10 more things that we use that are essentials to us when traveling and living in Africa, specifically Kenya. And again, these are things that you would need if you are living like the locals. These are not things that you would need if you're staying in a fancy upscale hotel that has all the amenities for you, has the little shave kit if you forget that. Definitely not the lifestyle I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you are living like the locals, you get a room that is cement walls, cement floor, cement everything, and you have one socket in your entire little studio apartment. You need these essential items in order to make your life a little bit easier compared to what you come from. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please share your comments down below. I would love to hear what your essentials are when you travel, whether that's to Africa or to anywhere else in the world, because I'm always looking for new essentials and things to make our life easier while we are traveling. So please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!